offensive, and he told that he just wanted to get more option. So this is the case of most of the people here around. They just listen to other people always talking trash about this and that, and which they haven't done, and giving you advice like they are winners, or king of the world, like that, something like that. Don't listen to them. So these doubts and cynicism keep most people away from, and they kept from investing, and they start playing it safe. So you can understand only the people's doubt and make them poor, keep them away from wealth. So getting out of rat race is technically easy. It does not require that much education, but those doubt cripple us most of the time. Getting out of rat race is technically easy. It did not require any primary education, but those criticism and doubt crippled us to make our way. Nice people does not win, and unchecked doubts and fear creates the cynics people. So always remember this, that you to say that cynic always criticize, and winners always analyze. This is the difference. So you have to analyze this, not suddenly criticize here. This also leads to the personal life also. Some person share their view, started to criticize them. This is a property of this is the attributes of a cynic. So you should not be cynic always criticize for everything. They don't see the opportunity and everything. They just found the negative thoughts in everything, which hindered them to get there, to achieve whatever they want. This is the only thing here. The thought process make them weak. On the other hand, winners always analyze the situation, what he is saying, what the situation demand. He work according to it. He will never criticize. He will always analyze the situation and find the best of it, and see neglecting the negative point. He just see the positive point, which will be driving force for them to achieving anything. So if you have make a habit of analyzing everything, you will find opportunity in everything. This is the difference between people who are not successful or not risky, and who are just played safe. This is the only difference between them. Okay. So at the end, author discuss about the story of Colonel Sanders. You all know the Colonel Sanders. You all have part of time have eaten KFC chicken. So he was the founder of KFC chicken. He was actually a military retired person. After the age of 65, he lose everything. He just refused to live on the pensions money, and he wanted to do something else. In all the business he started initial get failed. He failed in everywhere. Then he started selling of recipe of fried chicken, crispy chicken, in door to door, and he get rejected. You will not believe it. 1,009 times before someone say yes to it, and he went to become a billionaire at the age of 80, where most people quit their life. They thought that now the energy and lost their energy and lost. They have not much energy and courage to achieve it. So you can take a lesson from Colonel Sanders. What did he do to his little thick chicken around there, who always yell, "Sky is falling, sky is falling." He fried them. Okay, so just remember there is a strong valid point here. So now our next obstacle is overcoming laziness. So what is laziness actually? Laziness is most people who seem so busy are actually lazy person. You might be contradicting, you might not be agree with me, but it is actually the case. You all have heard about one man who always dedicated entire life to work, office work, who works hard to earn money to pay for his for his women and children, but he didn't give them time. He always focus mostly on work, and on weekend he come with his work, so he unable to give it family time, and he have problem with his wife, but instead of discussing it of relationship, he just focus on his work, instead ignoring those facts, and he just keep himself busy. And one day he returned to his empty house with his wife and children living them, and devastated by this, he lose concentration in his work, and he lost his job. So he lost everything actually. This is the laziness around people. They just ignore laziness, but by making themselves busy. So today Robert want to say that Robert met so many people that they are lazy about their wealth. They are too busy to take care of their wealth. So they are always busy and kept busy and stay busy, way of avoiding something which they do not want to face. So in fact, if you remind them that we are avoiding something, deep down they know that they are avoiding something, but if you remind them, they will respond with anger and irritation. Those kind of people are never gonna achieve anything in their life, never gonna be build this person, because they always seems busy in avoiding something which they do not want to face. So if they are not busy with work or their kids or family, they seem busy in fishing, watching TV, playing golf or shopping, but deep down they know that they are avoiding something important. So this is the most common form of laziness of staying busy. This is the most common form of laziness. That's the laziness of staying busy. So what is the cure for this laziness? This cure for this laziness is little greed and desire. From childhood we are taught that desire and greed are bad thing, but most parents would say, but inside we always want the good thing for our life. We always desire something great, but to keep the emotion of desire under control, parent find a way of suppressing those desire with guilt. They may want to feel you guilt about it. If you desire something, they want to suppress the emotion and make you feel weak and make you feel guilt about it. Then you will think, oh, I should not be doing this, a very bad thing. You will feel guilt about it. Just most parents said there, children mindset about this, most poor parents, okay, who don't have any financial knowledge or anything. They want to suppress the desire, emotion of fear, desire in their children. So author said that his parent always say that you only think about yourself, you don't know that you have brothers and sisters. So they always said you want me to buy you what? They ask in surprising that I cannot afford it. They ask in surprise in a way of showing that they cannot afford it. What you want to buy me what? So make you feel guilt about your desire in this way, emotion of desire you have, because they himself are afraid of kinetics. They themselves always follow the thing that I cannot afford it, I don't have money, doesn't grow in tree. What is this? Money doesn't grow, or you don't work for that money. You doesn't have that guts to work for that money. You always play it safe. This is the case here. You are not getting it. Rich people are great. You are not rich people. You don't know that money doesn't grow in tree. They always, all the parents have so much excuse about to suppress the desire of emotion of desire in their child. So they and reversing the guilt here. They make you feel guilt by saying this thing also, or they try to prove reverse guilt, saying that I am sacrificing my life to buy you this. So I am buying you this, but because I never have advantage in my childhood having that. These are proving the reversing guilt, that they want to feel guilt about you themselves and yourself about desire, and they will say, oh, my parents are this that, so I should work for money and chase money. So automatically this thought process comes in your mind, home always. Parents, because most parents are poor, they didn't know, they didn't have courage to take any bold step. That's why they remain poor. And they also shape their mindset of the children like that. So his rich dad always forbid the word I cannot afford it. Why can't you afford it? You just work for it. What is this thing? The rich dad always used to angrily said to Robert. So rich dad always said, just don't be like traditional parent, don't be like traditional parent or poor parent. Just think, how can you afford it? So I can't afford it. Always shut down all your desire. So always shut down your brain, stop working on the fact, and you give up just like that. But on the other hand, how can you avoid your mind with suggestion? It will work there. How I can work for it to achieve this? So you start to think and search of solution always. Why? How can I afford it? Actually, the I can't afford it is a lie. I can't afford it is a lie, and human spirit know it. So human spirit is actually very powerful. It can do anything. So this is the example of having a lazy mind, that I cannot afford it, which break war inside you. In your brain. They fight conflicting action take place in your brain. So your spirit is angry. Inside it, your subconscious mind, your consciousness is angry that I cannot afford it. Or what can I do? They start playing it safe. So they start playing it safe to defend this lie that I cannot afford it. I cannot afford it. They just lose the war, and they actually said that, and they finally said that I cannot afford it. They just give up, just like that. That's the thought process of most of poor people. So human spirit root said that I'm sick of being poor and tired. So let's do something to become rich. So to which your lazy mind, if you have didn't create your mind, so your lazy mind will say, rich are greedy people, Besides, it is too much to borrow, it's not safe. Besides, too much to borrow, it's not safe. I might lose money. I am working hard enough as it is. I will, this way they give up. So I have too much to work this way. I don't have time to, think about how can I afford it. So that's why what I have, I will be happy with that. Okay. So they didn't never escape that rat race. They continuously follow that rat race till their last day. So I cannot afford it also create sadness and helplessness. So that leads to dependency and often lead to depression here. Okay. So they always think that I cannot afford, what should I do? The anxiety created in their mind, this leads to depression again. But how can you afford it? Open up the possibility, excitement and dream. So if you think like that, how can I afford this? Always thought process begin. You will dedicate it towards your thing, and you will get a purpose to work for it. So I can't afford it always make you weak and self and leads you to depression in your life. So how can you beat this laziness? To beat this laziness, you must have little great, and without having any desire and little greed. It is helpful in a healthy way. You must not consider greed as excessive, but excess of everything is bad. So, but little bit greed will help you, will no harm to you. It will help you. It is healthy for you. That's what I want to say here. So world become better place when you start desiring something. Inventions are made because these are inventions are made because people have desire to make the life easier. That's why the inventors invents these things. Though they have high desire of, and they have the utmost desire of achieve something. So always do what you felt, what your heart felt. You will definitely be criticized or you will be damned. So why not taking your own step and be damned later? Okay, so this is the courageous words that Robert said here. You will be criticized if you do it, and you will be damned if you don't do it. So better be criticized and be damned. So you will do, if you will be damned if you do, even you will be damned if you don't. So better takes the positive side, better keep more option. Okay, that's Robert want to say here. So now our next obstacle is overcoming bad habits. Our life a reflection of our habit more than our education. Just remember this thing, more than our education. our habits shape our life. So author here share about his young experience about, you know, they were going to see the movie of Conan the Barbarian by, you know, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. So most of his friends, after watching that, they started discussing that, oh my god, what will have, I want a body like Arnold, I want a body like Arnold. And the other peer group would say that, yeah, he worked very hard, he have to work for every day, each and every day, spend every day in a gym. And some again some people in their group say that no, it's natural, he is born natural, let's not talk about, let's have some beers. So this is the, you know, this is a kind of bad habit here. So this is the example of habit controlling your behavior. So he was curious, he didn't understand this thing, so he asks about this to his dad, and his dad is always asks, giving example by, you know, how much when your dad used to pay your taxes. Just answer me Robert, that when your dad actually pay his tax. So Robert answering that he always pay his tax in the beginning of the month. After that, remaining that he uses for tax and other credits, and on the using this remaining money is right for the entire month. His dad then told him that this is the main reason he struggle financially. It is his habit, it is his bad habit of pay the accountant, tax officer and creditor before paying himself. So Robert, not understanding it, asking why that's so. Then his dad told him that if you pay yourself first, then the calls of those tax attorneys and creditors will motivate you to work more and find alternate way of income, so that you can pay your taxes. So most important thing is going on assets column. Your asset column come before any tax payment or anything else. Okay, so never forget to build your asset column. So you must pay yourself first, then bills and other things. This is also, you know, given in one of the interesting book, you know, the Richest Man in Babylon, which I get some time. I will make also review on this book. It's a very interesting book. Here he have discussed some of the ancient way that are still applicable in period also. That here in this book he also discuss about the remaining tablets, you know, clay tablets have recovered from the ancient Babylonian city, where they can find that they have also mentioned about paying yourself first. Make a habit of pay yourself first, then to other debitor and creditor and anything else. Okay, so if you pay yourself first, then you become financially financially stronger, mentally feasible. So now moving on. So our last obstacle is overcoming arrogance. What I know is make us money, and what I don't know lose us money. So you can find that most people use their ignorance to hide their ignorance. So when you know that your ignorance starts in the subject, start educating yourself, start some, you know, take some seminars or read some book. Don't be arrogant about it. Don't take arrogant to hide your ignorance always. Okay, so if you are ignorant, then educate yourself, don't know about these things, know about the subject, then work for it. Okay, so that's what I want to say here. So that's all for all today. Hope it is clear, hope it is interesting to you. When you will read this book, you will find it more. Okay, so don't forget to read this book. Coming lecture, if I get time, I will make, you know, the last 3 lectures which are, you know, all practical implication of those. Thanks for watching. See you soon.